This is the next series of talk on biographies of important jewelry designers. And we begin with Hunt and Ruskell, a London retail jewelry and goldsmith shop of great fame and reputation, who is in 1846 succeeded Paul Storr's firm of Storr and Mortimer. They exhibited in 1851 and were renowned for their high-quality product, often in revivalist styles. They also acted as a retail outlet for Carlo Giuliano before he opened his own shop at 115 Piccadilly in 1874. King Arthur. Arthur King, born in New York in 1921, taught himself goldsmithing in the United States Navy during the war. When his duties as an overseer of an empty and unused troop ship made him yearn to do something useful with his hands. Back in New York, King turned his attention fully to his new craft, gaining considerable recognition. The most remarkable aspects in his work are color, unconventional materials, and texture. Color from exotic organic materials, beaver pearls from Japan, black Tahitian pearls, tortoiseshell from the Bahamas, fossilized prehistoric Jurassic shark's tooth, whales and pygmy hippopotamus teeth, oxblood coral, Brazilian tourmaline, star sapphires from Burma, and lavender jade from India all find a place in his jewels, usually enveloped in rich gold settings. King won numerous awards and prizes for the jewelry design, including those of the Museum of Contemporary Crafts in New York and the Cultural Association of Japan. And he was commissioned to design and create trophies utilizing Native American materials for the National Trust for Historic Preservation Award. His works have been extensively exhibited in the Victoria and Albert Museum and the Goldsmiths Hall International Jewelry Exhibition in London, Stockholm Museum of Modern Art, and the Museum of Natural Science in New York. He designed the jewels worn by Elizabeth Taylor in the film Cleopatra. Arthur King has had some 18 shops and outlets in Europe and America, but his headquarters have since 1970 been in 619 Madison Avenue, where he created an organic decor in lead and steel to complement his organic jewels. After his death in 1986, Arthur King's widow Louise took over the running of the business. King's jewelers are usually signed either with the firm's name in capitals or with Arthur King's signature. Kutchinsky began in 1893 when Polish immigrants settled in the East End of London and continued their profession by opening a small jewelry and watch repair shop. Business prospered, and in 1913 Kutchinsky moved to larger premises at 171 Commercial Road, still in the East End. Joe Kutchinsky, who was to become the major figure in the company's success, joined the family business in 1928 at the age of 14. He rapidly acquired skills in every area of the business, managing the firm to continued success in the years leading up to the Second World War. During the war, the shop partly closed down, but from 1945, Joe Kutchinsky forged ahead with a new commitment to design and technology, and by the early 50s, the firm had become well established in the world of fashion and jewelry. In 1958, it moved to the West End, taking up its current premises at 73 Brompton Road. Since this time, Kutchinsky has developed royal patronage from several monarchies and international reputation, and continues to do so under the current director Paul Kutchinsky, who joined the company in 1971. After the war, Kutchinsky began to pioneer new techniques which allowed them to create unique modern jewels. Among these innovations, Kutchinsky developed a new successful gold, silver, and platinum alloy for the manufacture of jewelry. Most of Kutchinsky jewelries are inscribed with the signature Kutchinsky. Lalaounis. Illias Lalaounis was born in Athens in 1920. The fourth generation of a family of goldsmiths originated from Delhi. After graduating in economics, he joined the family tradition and activity, contributed to the revival of the art of Greek goldsmiths and jewelers. Firmly convinced that ancient pieces of jewelry, being works of art, could prove attractive to modern taste, he dedicated himself to the careful study of antique jewelry. In 1957, he exhibited at the Thessaloniki International Fair his first collection of reproduction of ancient Greek pieces. The exhibition had a favorable response, and from mere reproductions he moved to the creation of completely new lines of jewelry object art. Being inspired by specific periods of ancient art, sources of inspiration were offered to him not only by antique jewelry, but also by architectural or sculptural details, frescoes, mosaics, icons, and even embroidery, which were particularly characteristic of a certain era. As time passed, his horizon expanded from ancient and Byzantine Greece to Persia, Arab world and the Jewish tradition, Japan, China, and lately to the arts of the Indians of North America. Nature, science, and technology also offered Lalaounis inexhaustible sources of inspiration. Illias Lalaounis strongly believed that jewelry is a fine art, as long as its creator is able to communicate his feelings and his artistic impulse through his product and stimulate emotions similar to those that art can evoke. At the same time, he believes that the jeweler must be a man of his time, in touch with current trends, fashion and lifestyle, because jewels have to be worn, and he is profoundly convinced that every piece of jewelry which is worthy of its name has a story to tell. It carries a message, is a link with the past, and a symbol of memory. His philosophy concerning the nature and function of jewelry is analyzed in his book Metamorphosis, published in 1984, where his jewelry collection are pictured and discussed. Illias Lalaounis always favored 22-karat gold for his creation because of its warm color, and he often used carved and semi-precious stones and diamonds to enhance his goldsmith creations. Illias Lalaounis gallery and workshop, based at the foot of the Acropolis in Athens, first opened in 1968, and was soon followed by the opening of sister galleries in Paris, New York, Hong Kong, and London. Illias Lalaounis has been lately joined in his business by his four daughters, Irina, Dimitra, Maria, and Ioanna. In February 1990, he was elected a full member of the Académie Française, the first creator in the field of the visual arts to receive this honor. Illias' jewels are signed with his full name in black capitals or stamped with his characteristic monogram in the egg-shaped motif. Lalique, Rene. Rene Lalique was the undisputed genius of Art Nouveau jewelry, a man of great talent and versatility who succeeded in transforming jewelry from a form of ornaments into great works of art. He was born on the Marne, and since boyhood showed a deep interest in drawing and designing and in the study of nature. When his father died in 1876, he was forced to leave school and was apprenticed to the Parisian jeweler Louis After 2 years, he moved to London to study at Sydenham College in South London, at a time when art were known to be more progressive than in France. Back in Paris, he worked as a freelance designer for various famous manufacturers such as Viver, Cartier, and Boucheron. His design of the 1880s conformed to the requirements of his clientele and were basically traditional, mainly set with diamonds. In 1885, he became independent, but it was not until 1895 he first publicly exhibited his jewels under his own name at the Salon de la Société des Artistes Français, where he obtained a remarkable success. From the mid-1890s, Lalique jewelry began to show a very strong sculptural element combined with the fluid and sinuous line of Art Nouveau. Using gold with gemstones enamel, he depicted motifs from nature, concentrated on fantasized insects such as dragonflies and butterflies, and unusual flowers and plants. He focused also on the decay and the rebirth of the natural world by choosing dead flowers about to disintegrate in the wind and buds and blossoms. Another recurrent motif in his jewelry is the female figure, nude or draped, twisted in the fluid lines of Art Nouveau and wrapped in the flower long hair. Lalique excelled in the art of plique-jour enamel, and from the late 1890s he began to incorporate molded glass motif in his creations. In the mid-1890s he began working for Sarah Bernhardt, the great tragic actress, and for many years he designed her large, flamboyant and melodramatic stage jewelry. His greatest success came after the Parisian Exposition Universelle in 1900, where his jewels were very much admired and gained him many commissions from around the world. After 1910, disillusioned by the large number of bad quality imitation that the jewels had prompted, he devoted himself entirely to glassmaking. His jewels are mainly signed either Rene Lalique or simply Lalique in block capitals. And today that's all we wanted to discuss. Stay tuned for future podcasts. Thank you. Goodbye.